Linus Tech Tips coverage of CES 2014 is brought to you by NCIX.com, your source for great technology, selection, and service, along with Corsair Memory and Western Digital. So we've got some alone time with a couple of Dell 4K monitors. This right here is the 2414Q. This is an ultra sharp display. And when they say ultra sharp, I think they actually mean ultra sharp. This is actually the highest pixel density desktop monitor that Dell has ever produced, and on top of being extremely sharp, it is extremely color accurate. So it has a 10-bit panel. That means up to 1.07 billion colors, and it comes factory calibrated to a delta E of less than 2. When you couple that with the exceptional viewing angles and the fact that it's height adjustable, tiltable, pivotable, swivelable, pretty much whatever you can think of, it's going to make for one ergonomic and absolutely beautiful working experience. Now, speaking of beautiful, the industrial design of it is very traditional. I actually really like it. The last Dell monitor I bought was a 2405 FPW, and to me, this looks like kind of like a more modern version of that, with a black bezel with slight silver accents on it. It's got touch-sensitive buttons here, so you can go ahead and press those. We've seen this kind of thing before, but it's well implemented here. You can see they light up when you even move near them. We're going to go ahead and turn the unit around so you can see how slim it is from the side. The answer, not particularly slim. There's a lot of hardware in here in order to get 3,840 pixels by 2,160. It uses a standard VESA mount on an aluminum stand, so it's just an aluminum base with an aluminum stand. I'll show you guys the height adjust here. And in terms of I/O, you're going to find it's a little bit different than usual. There's no dual link DVI. DVI does not necessarily work optimally with 4K. So guys, it uses DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort, and HDMI. Those are your only options. The only other I/O we find on the bottom is a USB 3 4-port hub, which you're going to be able to use for all your high-speed connections for that probably quite high-end computer that's running this monitor. I think I went ahead and turned it off there, but hopefully you guys still get the point. Man, it's beautiful. Even sitting this close to it, it's just crystal clear. Kind of want one of these. Next up, we've got the big brother. This is the UP3214Q from Dell. It's got an IPS display from Sharp. It's got a USB 3 hub. It's got DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort, HDMI, and it's pretty much the same as the 24-inch model, except for the massive size. I mean, you can see me standing next to it. It's funny because I used to use a 30-inch monitor on my desk, and I got away from that because my cat leapt on top of it and it fell forward onto something and actually cracked the panel. And so it had actually been a while since I had seen one, and then I got my hands on a 30-inch again a little while ago, and I was like, wow, this is big. This is that experience all over again. Now, if there was one criticism that I had of my old 30-inch, it would be that when you make the display that large, you lose some of the sharpness that you would get with something like, even a 2560 by 1440 27-inch panel, just because when they're smaller, the pixel density is higher, and it's harder to pick out the individual ones. Well, this alleviates that problem because this is 4 times the resolution of a standard 1080p display, so that means it's about the equivalent of looking at, 4 16-inch 1080p displays all in one. The colors look absolutely beautiful, which makes sense because Dell is promising 100% Adobe RGB coverage with 99% sRGB coverage, 1.07 billion colors, so that makes it a 10-bit panel, and they are promising a delta E of less than 2, which means that color imperfections should be pretty much impossible, very, very difficult for the human eye to discern. Thank you for checking out this video on Dell's ultra-sharp 4K monitors here at CES 2014. Don't forget, our trip to the show is powered by NCIX.com, your source for great technology, selection, and service, as well as Corsair Memory and Western Digital. Without all of those guys, there is no way that we would have been able to be here, so thanks so much for that.